Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to Roosevelt High School today. So glad that our weather at least is sunshiny. I know we couldn't do anything about the cold today, but glad that it's not a snowstorm and we didn't have to deal with too much ice. So thank you all for being here. I said, maybe we would pick a different time of year for an event like this, except that I know all of you enjoy the entertainment of our kids at this time of year, and we're so proud to have the choir from Roosevelt High School. There'll be about 60 of them, so they will outnumber us today with their music. And then we have a woodwind choir that will be joining us as well. So hopefully that brightens your holidays even a little more than the sunshine outside does. But I'm going to introduce, first of all, my name is Deanne Conrad, for those of you who have not attended in the past. Do we have any new Gold Card members who are here at their very first event? Oh, raise your hands high. We have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 new Gold Card members. So thank you all for joining us. We hope this is not the last time we see you. Many of these folks have been part of the Gold Card for years and years, and they have become dear friends of ours, of the school district. So the familiar faces we get to see, that's equally as enjoyable for me when you all show up at events like this. So thanks again for your attendance today. And I'm going to introduce the principal of Roosevelt High School, Tim Hazlett, who's going to say a few words.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I know that it's maybe goes without saying, but to have people committed to education beyond your own children, beyond your experiences with it, and still connecting with the schools is really valuable, and it means a lot to us. The more that we can do to connect generations and let you see how awesome our young people are today, the better it can be for everyone. Because I'm getting to that spot where I start thinking, I don't know, what are these young kids doing? And then I remember people used to say that about us. And every generation that happens. And you're going to have some unbelievable debate students serving you your dinner today. You're going to get to hear some of the talent of some of our kids who are awesome human beings who are doing the best, and they're going to do better than we did. And just to have the pride and to have you guys still supported is so important for me and for us. And I am very proud of this place. You are in the largest high school in South Dakota right now. And it's actually, I looked the last time we would be the 28th largest city in South Dakota. Roosevelt High School would. So we're right behind Sisseton, and we're trying to catch them. But as you know, there's lots going on in the school district that's going to change some of that in the next few years. And I just am really, really proud of this place and our district and the way that it's going. And you should be too. And you see these things. I'll tell you right now, the kids doing the best things today are better than they have ever been. They're more socially aware. They're more globally aware. They're more committed to academics. They're more involved in their faith formation and all kinds of stuff. Now, it's a complex world, and they have complex problems. And there's a lot of those on both sides, but they're conscientious about the world. I mean, I can't use straws anymore because I'm killing turtles. So they're going to do some things to make up for some of our mistakes, and I think you should know that we have that great of kids here, and our community is strong, and thanks to the foundation that you guys help set and the support you give us. So thanks for being here. Enjoy your time with us.
And then, not like the Gold Card isn't headline enough, but someone else came with an additional headline yesterday that kind of surprised many people in the community, as well as many of us who work closely with him. But please help me welcome and make him answer as to why Dr. Brian Maher, our superintendent.
Well, good afternoon. I got to tell you that Deanne put together some talking points for me and sent them to me yesterday morning. And Deanne was one of the first people in the office that I talked about my decision with, but it wasn't until yesterday morning And so she had to go back and change my notes for today. So the first thing on my notes is address resignation announcement. So I will do a couple of things. I will address that. But first I'll say thanks for being here. I know you have plenty to do. I really thought with the bitter cold that the turnout would be poor. But like many instances in my life, I was wrong. What a great turnout. Thanks for being here today. The second thing I would say is today, just like 5 years ago, it is an honor to stand in front of you as the superintendent of the Sioux Falls School District. So, if it's such an honor, why did I resign? The biggest thing I would say is I think my time here is done. And I don't have any great reason for doing it. One of my sisters said, "Is your health okay, Brian?" I'm the youngest of 7. Is your health okay? My health is great. Yeah, you can tell. I'm just my health is great. Are you having trouble with your board? No more so than usual. I work for a great board. I had a great board that hired me. We've had a little bit of change in that board. I work for a great board today. The people that I work with every day in the office, Deanne, Dr. Knoll, Dr. Boyson, people that not only do I enjoy going to work, yeah, I love them. Those are great people. So, if you remember my original question, it was, so why resign? You can tell I haven't given you an answer. Other than I said this to the media yesterday, and it is, I believe that superintendents have a shelf life, and that shelf life is independent for the individual involved, and I think I've reached mine with Sioux Falls. I'm not leaving for another job, first time in my life, which makes me a little uneasy. I don't know what I'll be doing in July, August, September. I really don't. My wife and I love my house, not too far from here, by the way. If you want a house before I put it on the market, but I'm not going to give it away, and we don't have a next month. Good news is I don't have to have a job in July, August, September, and I grew up incredibly poor, so that's nice to be at that spot in my life. I'm also 58, so I'm not done working. Years ago, I would have thought, gosh, you can retire when you're 55 as a teacher. You can retire. And that was really appealing to me, and now today it's not appealing to me. I want to do something. I just don't know what it is. So I leave believing that the last 5 years have been a labor of love. I love the district. I took over a great district. It wasn't in shambles when I came. It was in a great spot when I came. And I believe I leave it in a great spot for the next superintendent. So I will, as long as the next 7 months go well, I will leave with nothing but fondness and love for the city and the school district. So I still haven't answered the reason as to why I'm leaving. That's the best I can do. So that's the address the resignation announcement. Now the other thing I said yesterday to the media was, now that we've got that out of the way, there's a lot of work to get done between now and June 30th. So I've got to get back to work. And some of those key things are, we have a boundary task force where we're redoing the boundaries for the schools in our district. I'll address that a little bit. It's time to hire principals for Thomas Jefferson High School and Ben Rifle Middle School, the 2 newest buildings in the district that'll open up a year and a half from now. But we will hire those principals later this spring. So we'll have to do that. And then we'll have to balance one more budget with very limited resources, again. But we'll get that done as well before I leave. And then the big thing is the day-to-day activities that go on in the school district with 24,000 kids, 25,000 pre-K through 12th grade kids. A lot going on. My wife and I, some of you may know, we're from Nebraska, came here from Nebraska. We were going back to some family function a few years ago, and we were driving through Norfolk, Nebraska, not too far from Yankton. And as we were driving into Norfolk, there was a population sign that said Norfolk population, I don't remember what it was, 22,000 and something people. And Peg, my wife, said, "You've got more students in Sioux Falls than they have in the city of Norfolk." And I thought, gosh, that actually scared me a little bit. So we are, as Mr. Hazlett said, we're not only a big building, we're a big school district. We have all the responsibilities and obligation to go along with an organization of that size. But we'll take care of those things on our day-to-day basis this spring. This spring we have boundary task force meetings. Last night at the Board of Education meeting, our board formalized our process. I'll overly simplify it here for the purposes of this meeting because Deanne said I only have 10 minutes to speak to you, and I've got about 40 minutes worth of material. So the big thing is we've put together a community task force. There are 30 people on that task force. Earlier this fall, we asked for anybody who desired to be part of this task force to put in an application to be on the task force. And I thought, who in the heck would want to be on a boundary task force? We had 161 applications. We narrowed that down to 30 people. We've tried to be very representative of our community, both demographically and geographically, so that this task force truly represents our community as we try to figure out how do the new boundaries look for our students, for our parents, and for our community. So that task force will meet 3 times. Their first meeting will be January 20th, and they will meet January 20th, February 29th, January 20th, January 29th, and February 19th. They will go through a lot of options for redoing boundaries of our middle schools and our high schools. And they will take those options and narrow those down to a few, I suppose 2 or 3. And I make the analogy of redoing the boundaries is like a relay race. Our board started out with the baton for the relay race. They're handing that baton off to the task force. The task force will meet 3 times, and then they will hand that baton off to the community. We'll have 5 community meetings in March and April at each of the middle schools in the city, so hopefully it's convenient for you no matter where you live. You can go to any or all of those meetings. We will have the options figured out at that point, and we'll put those in front of the community, and then our community can weigh in on what those options are. And then our community will take that baton and hand it back to the Board of Education in April. Our board will wrestle with the options and the community feedback in April and in May and make a decision in June. So June of 2020, this process will be complete. And I feel good about that because I'm not running away from what I think is really a tougher thing than passing the bond issue. Getting the bond passed was tough. Getting the boundaries set will be an incredibly emotional topic. But I think we have a good process in place to address both the logistics and the emotion that come with redoing boundaries. So we'll have that done by June. Our construction updates, I'll end with this. We have a lot of projects going, 2 big projects, Thomas Jefferson High School, Ben Rifle Middle School. If you have driven by either of those properties in the last few weeks, you see that those buildings are well out of the ground and we're making great progress on those buildings. We are on time for the conclusion of Thomas Jefferson High School and Ben Rifle Middle School, which is May of 2021. So not too far down the road here, where we'll have those buildings complete. And maybe even the better news is we're way under budget right now. I know it's still very early in the process, but we're over $5 million under budget right now. And somebody said, well, what do you think of that? And I said, well, I think it's great, but I only get 10% of that. I think it's great because I think we can add a lot of value to that project if we can stay under budget. My goal is to be on time and on budget. Right now we're on time and under budget. I hope in June, on June 30th, my last day in this office, that we're on time and continue to be under budget, and we'll be in really good shape with that project to hand that baton off to the next superintendent. I don't think I speak to the Gold Card folks again, do I, Deanne? So I'll close by saying it has been a 5-year labor of love for me in this position. It's truly an honor to address you as the superintendent of the Sioux Falls School District. When I came here, I really believe that there's never been a better time to sit in the seat that I'm in than it was in 2015 when I came. And I believe every year that I've been here has been better. And I believe every year after I leave will continue to be better, because that's the community that we live in. It's a great position. I can't wait to see who they hire, and whoever it is will have a great ship to continue to sail. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your continued.
Well, I do have to say, he rarely keeps to his time, but he did a pretty good job today. So I usually have to tell him like 10 minutes less than what we have slated. So, but he did a pretty good job staying on time today. So at this point, we have students who are standing back ready to deliver your food. And Ms. Robin Starks Holcomb is the director of our choir here at Roosevelt High School. Her students will enter and she'll do some introduction of the music you'll be hearing today. So go ahead, please, and enjoy your meal. As that's delivered to you, we'll be around with more coffee and water and anything else you need. So entertainment and food is next on the agenda.
My name is Robin Starks Holcomb. I'm one of 3 full-time choir directors here at Roosevelt. There's no way to do this alone. We serve 12 choirs on a daily basis here. We have 5 academic choirs that meet for a full period, graded period every day, and we have 7 choral ensembles. So it's a thrill for me to be a part of a powerful team. One of my teammates is standing right here and will be conducting one of our pieces, John Perizzo. And the third of us is teaching while we are down here right now, and her name is Randy Vandersloot. And I just have to tell you, they say to find something you love to do in life and you'll never work a day in your life, and that is what our team does. We come here to Roosevelt every single day, and we get to make music with these beautiful human beings. So this is our concert choir. This is an audition group of juniors and seniors, and they are preparing right now to perform at a regional, at 10 state ACDA conference, which stands for American Choral Directors Association. So we're going to sing a mixture, a couple of our winter songs that we're preparing for our concert a week from today, and a couple of the songs that we're singing for the conference. So we're going to start. The theme of the conference is Joining Voices, and we have created a program called Humanity, Joining Voices, Creating Humanity Together. And the opening song in our set is one that is near and dear to our hearts because it's how we feel whenever we sing together. It's called Joy.
Joy.
The next song they're going to perform for you, they will be doing on their winter concert a week from tonight. It is a 14th, 15th century French plain song called Pas de Pain.
Children, take your little drum with your whistle, all ye come. When we hear the fife and drum, do-do-do-do, pat-a-pat-a-pan. When we hear the fife and drum, Christmas should be frolic sung.
When they hear the fife and drum, when they hear the fife and drum, should our children join our fun.
Garden wheel now become more fun than life and drum. When you hear the fife and drum, do-do-do-do, pat-a-pat-a-pan. When you hear the fife and drum, dance and make the village fun.
The next piece they will perform for you is called Bend. It is composed by a Sioux Falls native by the name of Kyle Peterson. He is writing another song for us to premiere at our conference, but this is also, when we perform this will be the premiere of this work. No other choir has done it yet. And when we came across it and heard it, we knew that we had to sing it. The name of it is Bend, and the text is by Kyle Peterson himself, but we associated with it so closely. It is so important for high schoolers to get involved in activities. It's where they find their community. It's where they find their family. And choir is just one of those activities that as they sing together every day, and then outside of the room as well, they really learn to be each other's support systems and rely on one another. The text to this piece hits home as we have had a number of experiences that our humans have gone through, and they have found each other and been able to lean on each other through thick and thin. So the text of this is, Bend, don't break, my child, when the winds blow wild. Lean in, then rest a while. Bend, don't break, be brave, my child, when the gale and wave rush by. But you will never bend alone, or no one should ever bend alone. I'm here with you, I'm bending too, and when the wind subsides, you shall rise. But for now, bend low, my child, bend low. So this is called Bend.
Thank you for sharing.
The closing piece for the concert choir as a whole is conducted by my colleague John Perizzo. And this will be the closing piece of our concert on Tuesday night, Oh Holy Night. And then as a majority of them leave, we have a group of 17 singers who are going to stay and just sing one more piece for you. So, Oh Holy Night.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth.
May the world in sin and error pining till He appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks the new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night, oh, holy night, oh, night divine. Led by the light of faith serenely beaming, with glowing hearts by His cradle we stand. Led by a star above them brightly gleaming, appeared the wise men from far eastern land. The King of Kings lay in a lowly manger. To us this day is born to be our God. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine.
And while we're going to have executive chamber and share one more song with you, before the others escape, I have to get them changed and back to classes. I see the third of our team standing in the back of the room. This is Randy Vandersloot. So she is the third full-time choir director this year. Thank you. So if you're in chamber, stay right here. The rest of you want to go that way. Great. I've never been before. Keep the reindeer in the light.
who's watching that too? They, I could tell you were going a lot of
So this room is called the Executive Chamber, and they are 16, this semester, 17 voices out of the concert choir. All juniors and seniors, but this year, 1 junior and 16 seniors. Exactly. Our soloist at the beginning, Shelby Wright, is the only junior in the group. Sorely outnumbered, but she fits right in. So Shelby Wright will be our first soloist, and Hayden Murtha will be our second soloist, and this is O Come, Emmanuel.
You had students who were delivering plates to you, and they were in service today, and when they're not preparing and delivering meals for you, they're debating. So their coach is going to come forward and introduce the students and say a few words about their work as well.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, any opportunity that I can get to stand up and talk a little bit about what these amazing students do is an opportunity that I like to take advantage of. My name is Luke Cumby. I'm the co-director of debate. The other co-director's name is Grace Gill. She's teaching government right now. And these are just some of the students that we have. I'm proud of all of the students that we have, but we decided to bring some of our shining stars to be in front of you today. The one thing that I really like about our team is that our debaters love seeking a challenge. They put learning above winning and losing, and the more that they can be pushed to be better, the more they like to go to those sorts of tournaments. In fact, Dr. Nold here, his son, is a debater himself, and he likes to push us, and we work very hard to do our best against him as well. What these students do is truly amazing. I don't know how many of you have any experience in debate, but what they effectively do is they do their regular class schedule Monday through Friday, and then they give up their weekends to travel to other tournaments and debate against the best and brightest students. This past weekend, for example, on a Saturday morning, they woke up, got on a bus at 4:30 in the morning, drove down to Omaha, debated for about 16 hours, and then got on a bus and came back. And they just so happened to win the tournaments as well. Nolan Johnson and Anders Svenningsson right there were able to win. And the only reason they were able to get to the final round is because in the semifinal round, they actually paired up to debate against Madison Howard and Hope Grismer here. So it was a true team effort and a very, very long day for them. There's a couple of other honors that these students have done that make them truly a special group. In our organization, it's called the National Speech and Debate Association. There's 141,000 members in that association, students across the entire world actually, and only 1% of those students receive an honor called Academic All-American. In order to receive this honor, you have to have a really high GPA or a really high ACT score, and you have to earn what are called NSDA points. To give you some idea of how much work that takes, if you were to debate 100 times and win every single debate, you still won't have enough points to earn Academic All-American honors. We have 4 students who have earned that honor. Hope Grismer, Madison Howard, Peter Moriarty, and David Wells have all earned that honor and have received this national recognition. We actually have a couple others who are getting pretty close, so we're looking forward to seeing if they can get there. We also have a big tournament at the end where we try and qualify to the national tournaments. It's the biggest event put on by the National Speech and Debate Association. It's also the biggest academic event in the entire world. Usually a team qualifies 2, 3, maybe 4 students. Historically, that's what Roosevelt qualified. This past year, we were able to qualify 16 students to that tournament, including every single student who was standing up here, and David Wells and Peter Moriarty beat out 200 teams to take 7th place at the national tournament, which means they actually get automatically qualified to this next year's national tournament, which is in Albuquerque this year. So great honor for them. And then the last honor, which is something that's been relatively recent in Roosevelt's history, there's another prestigious tournament that generally is meant for elite private schools who can afford to have 3 full-time coaches and an unlimited travel budget. And we like to seek out a challenge, so we go and take them on anyway. And the top teams in the country get invited to what's called the Tournament of Champions. In order to receive that honor, you have to get what's called a bid. The most number of bids Roosevelt has ever had is 2. The most number any other South Dakota team has ever had, is, to my knowledge at least, is 3. This year, we're only halfway through the season, and we've already earned 5 bids to the Tournament of Champions, including Hope Grismer, Madison Howard, Shristi Kumari, Anders Svenningsson, and Nolan Johnson. All of them are standing up here. So I'm really honored to work with them each and every day. They push me just as much as I push them, and it's great to be learning with them every single weekend. And I appreciate the support, and thank you for all that you do to support education.
Just an additional note, you saw 2 of the concert choir members who were also debaters. And there was a picture that Robin Stark Schoolcomb took a couple of months ago where she had students right on the board put a tick mark beside what activities they were involved in here at Roosevelt. And it literally took up a whole whiteboard because students are so involved in so many different activities. And so really what Mr. Nicholas said at the beginning of our time here today, students really are conscientious. They are immersing themselves in as many opportunities as they possibly can. And that is a true testament to feeling like you belong, feeling like this is your place, and that it's a great place to be. So we now are blessed to have the Woodwind Choir and some percussion as well, who are going to perform for us. I think this is the group I saw just sort of randomly doing a mall presentation last year. Is that right?
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah. So they've gone out and participated in a variety of community events, and will hopefully bring a lot of joy and to your day here today. So Mr. Michael Hensch is the band director here at Roosevelt High School.
Hi, welcome, or thank you. I'll talk just a little bit while they're finishing getting set up. This is part of our Woodwind Choir. This is about half of it. We use members from the concert band, symphonic band for Woodwind Choir. It was easiest just to use the symphonic band members from this group. This group only rehearses 1 day a week for 45 minutes, but they participate in region contests. They play at our Kaleidoscope concert, and then we also do a spring chamber ensemble concert, which features a woodwind choir, brass choir, and the percussion ensembles from Roosevelt. Last year, this group was a really busy group. We did, I believe, 12 concerts in the community in the month of December, including going out to Christmas at the Capitol and Pier. And so it's a fun group. This is going to be a little bit of sample of what the type of music we do when we go out during the holiday season. In the band program in general, we were off to a really strong start this year. The marching band in the first week of November went out to New York. It was the first band from the state of South Dakota to compete in the U.S. Band's National Championship. We bumped up into Class 6 Open, which is the largest class out there, and we got 3rd place out there. We also won the Cadets Award for Innovation in Marching Band. We used technology in our show this year with a DTX wireless lighting system, which has never been done with any high school marching band in the country. And so we won the Cadets Innovation Award for that. And we had just a wonderful trip. We had 206 people in our traveling party, and we had 0 problems, and everybody who went along represented Roosevelt, Sioux Falls, and South Dakota extremely well. So we had a wonderful trip. So anyway, I think we're about ready to go here, and we're going to play for a few minutes. I think, I'm trying to remember the first tune we're starting with. Here Comes Santa Claus. What's that? lucky enough to go up to SCSU on Saturday or Sunday night and hear the Lincoln Center Jazz Band from New York with Wynton Marsalis conducting, and they did this piece. We're right there with them. Here we go. Ready? Thank you. Now we're going to feature a couple of our sections. We'll do a little flute feature, and then we'll do a little clarinet feature, and a little saxophone feature. So we hope you enjoy these three little tunes. very talented members in our band. I'm going to get away out of the way and feature a few of them. This is our saxophone section is going to play a feature for you. tune for you. It's called Jazzy Holiday. We appreciate the opportunity to come and play for you, and we thank you for all your support here at Roosevelt High School. If you're interested, our winter concert is this Thursday at 7 o'clock in the auditorium. So please come on by and enjoy a great concert.
Melanie.
Thank you to Mr. Hench and to his students for joining us today. And while they head back to class and do their next thing, as we often do at these gatherings, we are going to select some names for some door prizes before we send you on your merry way, right? Okay. I know sometimes I come with jokes and that kind of thing, but I think you've had enough pleasing things today, enjoyable things. So we will, actually before we do that, or while we're doing that, I would like to introduce our team. And no, Melanie, you don't need to come on this way. So many of you know Melody Kloiber was with our department for 9 years. She retired at the end of June, and so we have a new staff member who came on board in July. Her name is Melanie Erickson. So we went from Melody to Melanie, which often, yes, it's tough from time to time, but she's very gracious and allows us to make a mistake occasionally. So Melanie came to us in community education as a former instructor of ours for community education. She had done jewelry classes for years as the owner of the bead company downtown. And when she moved on from that business, she joined our team, and we are grateful to have her. We threw her in on day one, and I think she's still waiting to come up for water, or for air. Sorry, we did throw her in. So we very much appreciate her being here. Kelly Fay is our youth program specialist. Kelly's in the back of the room. Some of you may have received a letter that we didn't have a fall gold card event. Well, with bringing Melanie on board, Kelly needed time to go have her second child. So she was gone, and this is just her second week back with us at work. So we are grateful to have our team member back. And then Maritza Carzales is our clerical in the department and does a fantastic job for us as well. And we're just grateful to have our entire team together again for community education. Behind the camera, there is Carly Youthy. She's trying to ignore me. She is part of our team as well, and she is our multimedia specialist. So she does a lot of videography, social media, and a variety of those types of things. So we're so happy again to have you join us today. Melanie is going to draw a couple names for door prizes. So go for it.
And so it wouldn't be right if I drew them, right? We need you to draw them. So.
I apologize to the other 9. Jan Grevin.
Yay, okay.
Okay, well, and I should say what we're winning. School district swag, which would be one of our lovely school district mugs. Thank you so much. Well, I went for cute over functional. Mari BB.
Oh, at the table names. Table names, very good. Right. Next up, we have some t-shirts and some gift cards. So next will be a gift card for a ComEd class or for a future Gold Card event.
It's her.
It's my name, though.
It's not me.
Mary
Jean Henry.
Oh, Mary Jean. There we go. Great.
Good job. Jeffrey Kuhn.
Come on down.
Leo Drew.
All right. First timer, and he gets a gift card.
Marine Draper. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Milbert.
And are we coming down? We have 2 left? Is that right? 2?
Carol Olson.
And our final door prize.
Doug Erickson.
Mr. Erickson. I thought I heard a boo.
Take from over here.
Thank
you.
Won't fit him anyway. So thank you to our team for organizing this today and for bringing you all in. We're so happy again that you would spend a day with us and enjoy some holiday cheer as well. We will have a spring event and let you know of when that date is now that we're kind of getting our feet underneath us and we've got Kelly back. It'll help us out tremendously. Now, I have to tell you, I did not realize this, but apparently in my opening remarks, I said something about asking how many of you have been here. This is your first time, and several of you raised your hands, and then I said, well, hopefully this won't be your last time, and a couple of my staff members picked up on that and thought, well, do you know something about end of life that these people talk about? I said, I did not mean that whatsoever, but it made me laugh. Sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself, right? So I am here publicly acknowledging that I'm laughing at myself, and I do hope all of you will be back to join us again at our next event. And again, we'll let you know as soon as we have that date scheduled. But thanks again for joining us.